I agree. He's one
All
of the coolest
science
dogs I've
currently
ever...
points to one truth. The world is ending. Global governments, religions, academic institutions, and corporations all seem to be powerless to stop the decline of human civilization.
All true.
But some data suggests that perhaps there is one astonishing human being who can change things. The Rock. You must now attempt to answer this question. Can The Rock save the world from climate change?
Okay. So we've done this before.
Literally this.
Yeah, I think it was almost verbatim, if not verbatim, the exact same opening, except there's one minor difference. In the other one, it just asked us to answer the question, can The Rock save the world? This time, there was like a ... from climate change. So it's getting more specific in what Dudesy's asking us to answer here.
And also trying to mine some sort of data that it didn't get, which is weird because the answer to the question last time was yes.
From you it was, but you also went on this fucking tangent about like, can The Rock become the president? Which has nothing to do with saving the world.
Yes, he can become the president, and yes, he can save the world.
Okay, so now let's focus in on climate change.
Yes.
Can he save the world from climate change?
Before I even think about it, the answer is yes. Of course, The Rock can do that.
How? My answer, by the way, is fuck no.
I think he can do it.
That series of events is set in motion. It's fucking over.
He might need to be the leader of the free world in order to enact the sort of policies to have a chance at saving the world. And also
what
he would have to
policies
be
are
in
those,
a situation to where I will answer that question, but he will also have to be in a situation where the United States is the main superpower, and who knows what would happen by the time The Rock gets into office, probably in 2028. Wouldn't you say so?
Okay, so...
And we're facing complete climate catastrophe as far as scientists are concerned. What 20 years after that or something? Who knows what the fuck's going on?
Right. But I mean, there's some things like plastic production.
It's a fucking hoax. Anyway, sorry, go on.
I don't think it's a hoax. There are some things like plastic production, for example, that are just on the fucking rise. And if that doesn't completely stop, or at the very least become incredibly curbed, climate change is going to keep happening. Same thing with fossil fuels. Same thing with a wide array of industries that our entire civilization is now beholden to function. There's no way to reverse these things. And we've already been through multiple tipping points. There's a lot of fucking shit. Scientists come out with papers every year saying like, no, it's fucking over. Everybody's fucked. Best you can do now is get as much money as you can to try and insulate yourself against the coming hell on earth.
Well, I always talk about moving up north and buying some land over an aquifer.
Yeah,
and then
dude.
I will. Then I'll be the
water king of
the water
Ladner.
king, the king of my fiefdom, and it won't just be a gallon at a time. Be as much water as I like.
That's like fucking Mad Max, the movie that came out in 2017, maybe?
17,
Remember
16,
that? That was a Water
15,
King
17.
scenario.
That was a Water King scenario. And I'll tell you something that The Rock's got.
That's why you drink out of that fucking jug, dude. That's your Water King jug, just to lord over people how much water you have. Oh, look at my water.
I'm the Water King. But you know what The Rock has?
Please.
That
What?
It's not quite water, but it's also powerful.
Oh, I think I know.
Tremana. Tremana. The Rock has Tremana. I wonder if there's a way that
Yeah.
help me out. You don't think he
You
can do
okay?
it?
No,
I'm
no
just-
one can save the world from climate change. It's fucking done. It's over.
I think I know how he could do it.
It's like we jumped off a building and somebody's like, hey, is there anybody who can figure out how to put us back on top of the building? It's no, you're going to fall to the ground and die now.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
What if The Rock, who's an entrepreneurial fellow, if The Rock partnered with a company because he wants to keep the party going with Tremana, right?
Yeah.
He wants people to always have ice cold Tremana. That's how The Rock drinks it. Ice cold Tremana. Okay. I pour a glass of Tremana when I get the fuckets.
Right.
I got a case of the Wednesday fuckets. I got a glass of Tremana with a big ice cube, and then I've got a gallon jug of Tremana, and then I got a stack of Blondies, 2 pepperoni pizzas, 5 cheeseburgers, Tremana. But here's the thing. He partners with a company. He partners with a bunch of weird scientists to I don't even know if is this possible?
Probably not. Whatever you're going to say, probably
no,
not.
Because he wants to keep Tremana cold. So he he works with these scientists because the Rock could bankroll this. He works with a bunch of scientists to create an agent that when you introduce it to water and then freeze it, it stays cold for twice as long. Then he finds a patent for this agent. Okay, he patents it.
And drops it in the sea.
And it takes, yes.
He freezes the whole world.
No.
And
he puts it in the polar ice caps.
Yeah.
In the cryosphere, as they say. And he can keep, yes. All right, I win, Chad, you're wrong. He fucking patents it and he calls it twice. Because it's ice that stays cold twice as long. It's called TW' ice. Well, now hold on a second, dude. But you know what that spells, brother?
Yeah. Twice, dude.
Yeah, brother. That spells twice, brother.
The question we were asking...
When you put a TW in front of ice, dude, then you say it all at once. That's how words work, dude.
The thing you're talking about, the twice, is a fictional creation of your own mind that cannot be done with science. And
that's correct.
Even if it was able to be created, it still would have no effect on climate change. So the answer really is no.
That's just the first step. Now, he doesn't even try to, he doesn't try to, well, I don't know. He knows Biden's going to try to run or whatever. He's old as shit. Maybe, so Rock doesn't even have to primary Biden. Let's in this scenario, let's say that Rock is running as an independent or whatever the fuck in 2028 for the 2028. Why does he have
to be president? I don't understand.
Because now he has to be the president. He takes the twice. People go, wow, this guy, just a private businessman, made twice. He's pouring it into the polar ice caps. And holy shit, The Rock is one heck of a guy. And then people are like fossil fuel people are like, fuck you. I've been working at the fucking plant for... He gives everybody... Because he's always doing this. He's always dropping a brand new F-150 on people. He gives everyone working in energies... and fossil fuels, a brand new F-150 or a Raptor. No, a Ford F-150.
Is it an electric F-150?
Absolutely not. It's a gas combustion. Hold on a second.
Perfect.
Hold on, dude.
That kind of goes
with a suspension lift, not just some shitty lift kit, like a real suspension lift, just like his. And he gives them a case of Tremana, so they're all cool for the moment. Then they all vote for him. Because it's like, wow, jobs are going away, but I gotta like my fucking truck. Yeah. And then they all vote for him. And then as president, he partners with Elon Musk, and then he goes out into space to mine the asteroids because they have all sorts of minerals and shit. And he builds a big, huge, giant spaceship that looks like a giant Ford F-150, and it's just like a massive, Star Destroyer that looks exactly like a blacked out F-150, and it flies out into space, and then it breaks up the asteroids and brings back all the
how does that help global warming?
Because then they mine those, and the people back the people back home on Earth who are like, I don't have a fucking job, and then it's like, no, check this out. We got these big asteroids. There's chunks of shit in it. Let's mine it. Let's pull the fucking oil out of it, and then
using oil makes global warming worse. Yeah. The F-150s, the mining of the oil out of these asteroids, even the industry required to bring asteroids to the Earth and then begin mining them is probably going to be bad for the environment.
So it's a fucking hybrid, gigantic spaceship F-150 then.
Okay, so it's an electric spaceship.
We don't need to use the fossil fuels, the asteroid fossil fuels here on Earth.
Right.
And the way we can do that...
Well, the things that we want out of asteroids are actually like precious metals, things that are used to make cell phones. Also not great for the environment, at least the industry that constructs all of this stuff. Similar to like plastics industry and stuff.
Okay, but wait a minute. Remember like in Fight Club, another great movie, when Tyler Durden's like or I guess it was Tyler Durden goes, in the world I picture, you'll be climbing the wrist-thick kudzu vines. Yeah. Swirling up the Sears Tower, and so on and so forth. Earth needs some renewal, right? So the Rock says, we're mining these alien rocks and shit. What we're doing with that, though, is we're using that to get to Mars with like a rocket charge, like a fucking
to take humanity to Mars.
It's like in the new Fast and Furious when fucking Ludacris and Tyrese are in outer space for a little while, right?
Well, they're in Earth's orbit. I wouldn't call it outer space.
Well, I would call it outer space.
You would be wrong.
All right. So it's like that. What we're going to do with that technology is we're going to put nitrous on the Ford F-150, the giant spaceship Ford F-150, and that fucking thing is going to fly out to Mars, and it's going to bring all the space rocks and Long Island January 6th guy, and he's like, oh, fucking hey, look at this fucking place.
Long Island January 6th guy is going to live on Mars, or he's going to Mars to get shit to bring back to Earth to save us from global warming?
Mars we're going to colonize, and we're going to turn it into like a dirty, shitty kind of Vegas planet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where you can go and burn fossil fuels and fuck that planet up for like
it's not fucked up
years. Yet. Exactly. So Earth, perhaps things are a little greener, but so long as there's green initiatives that people who already work in fossil fuels and energies, they've got something else to do. They're getting us to Mars because we're gonna and like drive there in a giant truck, right?
Yes.
It's gonna take a lot of oil, dude, a lot of gas, and a lot of Tremana. And don't drink Tremana and drive. Don't drink Tremana and drive a giant Ford F-150 to Mars. Then we get to Mars, and then we set up shop with your robot brothels, space casinos that only take Bitcoin, a real fucking party. It's going to make Dubai look like Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just going to be a fucking blast.
I can see that.
We're going to fly out there and have a fucking blast.
I could see that potentially being the case eventually, but I think that's hundreds of years from now. I think more than likely what will happen to the first people who get to Mars is it will be a brutal existence, and most, if not all of them, will die.
Says you. I believe that The Rock can save the world, and I think I nailed that shut, Chad. I think you lost
you absolutely, nothing you said was accurate. You made up a bunch of weird jokes about F-150s going to Mars and stuff, and obviously he's not going to create any kind of chemical compound that keeps ice twice as cold or cold for twice as long.
Yeah, it's called twice.
Twice, right? None of that's going to happen.
Twice as cold, Tremana.
I maintain that he can't. I maintain that no one can save us from global warming because it's already past certain tipping points, and we're just going to have to live now through this era where climate catastrophe is commonplace, and you better have enough money or be living in the right place that you can inoculate yourself against it. That is your best hope for what is coming.
Dudesy wants solutions. Not this doom and
Dudesy
gloom.
wanted an answer to the question, can The Rock save the world from climate change? You say yes, I say no. I say no one can save us from that.
Well, but at the end of the segment, I know that it's jokey to have it really doesn't matter what the shape of the spaceship is. I chose a gigantic Ford F-150, but I think I made a very convincing case for The Rock.
Dude, you know what our best shot to save ourselves from climate change is? Uploading our fucking consciousness into the internet.
No.
Because if we don't have to live in what we consider the physical world, where climate change is ravaging everything, and there's all kinds of fucking shit going on, if we don't have to live in that world, then we don't have to succumb to the effects of climate change or anything else.
Thank you. Moving on.
I rest my case.